Hi, welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Today I am going to show you what I have done with the envelopes that I did with Michelle Waltz. We were using the color combo from November for the makers of Mixed Media Art and Artist Group. And I picked up a stack of envelopes that I had gotten from my daughter. And they were blank to start with. So I want to show you what I have done with them. I have put them together in no particular order, and I made a journal out of them. Now, I have not made myself a journal for gratitude, and I thought, okay, this is the one. Um, yeah, this is the one. So here we go. We've got our first envelope, and it has an opening at the top, so it can be a pocket that I can stuff things down into. And I included leaf prints. I included trees that I had found. This was a North Carolina thing, and I thought it made me think of Blowing Rock. I had a ledge here, and these are just scrap pieces that I've added onto it. And I had a bird stencil that was an inexpensive stencil that came from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, somewhere commercially. And I've added those throughout, along with some of my scrap pieces of um, gel prints or inked prints. And I found this dog in an advertisement, and I thought he was just so adorable. I included him. And I don't have a pet, but you'll see some familiar stencils in here, some of my favorites. And this feather I found at, doing this on the reverse is hard. Okay, so the feather came from the Dollar Tree. It was in a package, and it's already has a foam piece on it. The trees I found in a book that I was harvesting from. And this was one of those really, really pretty prints that came out of that. Got a pocket here. I can slide something in. And I was thinking about, as I started, things that I'm grateful for. In the morning, I am so grateful for my cup of coffee. And this print was done with the bottom of a cardboard egg crate or egg carton. Got some leaves from my yard, and this was another stencil that I had gotten, and I just used my white jelly pen, not print. Got another pocket space, and you notice I've left some of them open and some of them are closed. Gift. We're talking about using gifts on Wednesdays. Word Wednesdays with Michelle talking about gifts. So if you want to look that up, you can. I'll have her link below. More of the just inexpensive stencils for the birds. These you could do freehand, but this was from a stencil with a bird on it. But the bird is really big. And then I have like another stencil, and these were like $1 or $2 stencils, just cheap, 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 cheap. And you see I've left this one up. That means that I've got pocket space. So I have a lot of ways I can add to this. Now here, I want you to see how I staggered these. I have one that's open, and the other is just folded a different way. And see that it created some images or some interest. There's the arrow that was on with the feathers. It had the feather, an arrow, and it seems like it was a third thing, but I don't recall. Oh, this one right here. And you see how versatile that is? And this was all just playing on the gel plate. I did not know what I would do with them. I have a whole stack of them. If I have my gel plate out and I'm already making a mess, I'm kind of like, okay, what else can I do? This was some of the leaf prints. This is just from one of my uh, the pieces, the bits and pieces of UPO that's left from the centers of your stencils from PM Artist Studio. That was some of those pieces. P calls it Franken stencils. There's one of the leaves, and then I had this one. I thought it was going to be really ugly, and it actually turned out to be a very, very pretty page. And so I decided that, I wanted to kind of draw attention to the prints. And I took a charcoal pencil on some of this and made it just doodled. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you use the chalk, or I mean, not chalk, but charcoal, if you use that, if you're going to do any kind of process over the top of this, you're going to have to seal that. The charcoal will rub off on you, as you can see by those lovely marks on my hands. And this was a bigger envelope, and I left this open right here. And here's another one that we've left open. And that's the leaves from the dollar store. This one turned out really pretty. It was actually a small envelope, and I decided to use it so that it would be a flip. And on this side, I didn't have hardly anything on it except for the other side of the leaf. So I tried to build something that would kind of coordinate with the colors that are on the page beside it. And this pocket is open, as you can see. This one is open at the top. Now, I have not put anything in this at this point, and that does have paint on it. But that's just a simple little journal. It took me probably 5 minutes to piece it together, but it took much longer to sit and doodle. I did that while we were watching races this weekend. At cautions, I would play with it. And so I'm going to put this is going to be kind of a personal journal, to where I put things that I'm grateful for, or positive quotes. But it was so simple and easy, and I think I'm going to like it. So this will be going out on my shelf, and it'll be something that I can pull out and use when I feel like I've found inspiration. I know one of my friends that I watch in the UK, Janet Nash, she always gets quotes from the people that are in her stream live. And as those quotes appear, she'll screenshot them so she can put it on her community page. So sometimes I find those really nice. I've always liked quotes, poems, and things like that, so I do look forward to using that. Now, I still have a whole stack of envelopes that are at the ready. I could make a journal in 5 minutes putting these together. And there's no wrong answer. If you'll go back and look, I have a playlist with envelope things on it. It was inspired by Darcy Sanders at Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media, and I will put a link to her page as well. So, don't throw away your envelopes. If you don't want your personal information on it, that's fine. Most of these were payment envelopes, and like I said, they came from my daughter's house, a big stack of them, when we were going through and cleaning out at her house. Let me grab something real quick. I'm gonna go out of shop for just a minute. And as you know, I don't usually show my face, so be thankful I had nice hair today and not a mess. In case you're wondering, I used I don't even know what kind of box it was at this point. I've been using this box for several years. I covered it, collaged it with stuff that I found, newspapers, scraps, anything that inspired me. And so this is just my go-to. When I come up the steps, if I've got envelopes, if I have a container for them, they go straight in the container. They do not become part of a pile somewhere. And so, know that if you make a container to put those envelopes in, then you'll keep them more organized and you'll be able to grab them and use them in when you've got your gel plate out. So I think that's all we're going to do today. I do want to show you those two little stencils. Let me see if I can round them up. I think I may have already put them up. I've got a few more that have to be put up. And just so you know, for my friend Michelle, I clean my stencils. And this is what I ended up with. And the only reason I saved it is because it was so hilariously funny. Very thick. They're brittle now, but look at all this. I think this particular stencil weighed probably 6 ounces. Oh, I don't know how many pieces I'm going to be able to get out, but let me just kind of hold it up like this. Those were all pieces off of that stencil. Now, I could use them to do something with, I don't know, but at some point you have to say enough's enough. But I did want to show you because I thought they were funny. Oh, here's the stencils that I used in that particular. Here you go. You got birds. All different shapes, sizes, wings open, wings closed. And then this was the other one. And let's see, there should be one more piece to this one. This one I had cut because I wanted the sprig stuff off of it. But there's the little one. And it's just simple stuff. These were very inexpensive. They were probably some of the first stencils I got. I think they did pretty good, but here's my clean stencils. Wait a minute, I got Christmas lights hanging. That stuff that came off, that I showed you came off these stencils, they were heavy. They were very heavy. But I don't know. I used to clean them every time I used them, and people were saying, no, if you don't clean them every time, you can get some interesting things. But I let that one go too long. There's that other piece. So, if you see stencils anywhere or stamps that have these very generic type designs to them, they're going to make a lot of different things for you. I could use this as just greenery. I added berries to it to give it a different look. So be conscious of that, so that you can make your money go as far as possible. So I want you all to have a good day. I'm counting down the days now. After this week, I'll be down to 3 weeks before surgery. So I'll try to keep y'all updated on what's going on there. I will have some downtime, I'm sure, but it doesn't mean that I won't be present in people's live streams and things like that, because I will have my computer downstairs and my tablet and my phone. So I definitely will have the ability to connect with people in my art community. For now, I want to say goodbye, and I want to say be well, my friends. Bye-bye.